Hello and good day, everybody. Welcome back to the Placement Partner Recruitment Academy. My name is Sheldon Butter. I'm a Client Success Manager for Competently Talent Solutions, the authorized African partner of eSkill. At Competently, we give your business an advantage with the most accurate assessment suite for pre-employment screening and skills gap analysis so that you can minimize your risk, cost, and lost opportunities. I once again, really on behalf of Competently Talent Solutions, want to thank the placement partner team for having us here as guests, for allowing us to share our insights and experiences and knowledge with everybody, with all our listeners here today. The build-up has been amazing. I sure feel the pressure to deliver a very strong and insightful lesson to all our listeners. So I hope everybody is as excited and ready for this content-rich learning experience as I am. To kick things off with lesson one and to get straight to the juicy bits, I'm just going to reference back to my introduction video as the scope for this lesson, where I focus on the prediction that digital recruitment will become the norm. That being said, as recruiters, you need to adopt new and improved tech-enabled tools that will help you streamline the recruitment process. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to today's lesson, Volume Hiring Recruitment Strategies in the Digital Age of Recruitment. To unpack and take you through today's content, here's what we'll be covering over the next 10 minutes. Hope you have your notepad and your pen ready. I've said it before and I say it again. The key to establishing a volume hiring recruitment strategy in the digital age lies in selecting tech-enabled tools that will streamline the hiring process. These tools include, but are not limited to, customizable online skills assessments, job-based simulations, video interviewing software, and a very reliable applicant tracking system like Placement Partners. You will be receiving insights on the following. Firstly, I'll be taking you through the 5 tips to help you get started with your strategy. Secondly, we'll be taking a look at the fast track hiring process at a glance. And thirdly, the benefits of using skills assessments in your hiring process to hire at scale. So before we take a look at these 5 tips to help you get started, just look at the facts for a moment and build a quick picture of our current scenario. Under normal conditions, organizations usually should be scaling their hiring efforts up or down to meet fluctuating talent demands. However, as COVID-19 restrictions have loosened and also just COVID-19 as a whole, how it's changed the landscape of recruitment, many talent leaders, recruiters, or HR teams need to implement an efficient volume hiring strategy as they reopen. For 2 big reasons. Mainly, we're recruiting remotely now more than ever, and because of the unemployment rates, we're receiving a higher volume of applications than what we are normally used to or should be receiving under the normal conditions. As industry leaders and providers of automated hiring solutions, along with our partners eSkill, we're offering HR professionals the tools they need to scale hiring efforts quickly. These include, as I've mentioned, customizable online tests and job-based simulations. All of these and more can be used to implement a hiring volume strategy as the economy reopens. So with this in mind, here are the 5 tips to get you started. First, number 1, automate for efficiency. Number 2, design a well-structured hiring framework. Number 3, develop ideal candidate profiles. Number 4, consider internal talent. And number 5, analyze data to optimize efficiencies. Now let's unpack each of these in more detail. So tip number 1, automate for efficiency. How? I quote, better recruiting tools and technology. I've now repeated this a number of times, but for a reason. It's highly important. As a matter of fact, it is the top performance booster according to 68% of the 2,850 recruiting professionals LinkedIn surveyed globally. Talent professionals agree that selecting the right HR tech solutions is the key to improving your hiring process. A suite of tech tools designed to automate and eliminate admin should be the focus. When selecting these innovative tech tools, what should you keep in mind? 2 things. 1, those tools, these suites of tools you're selecting and considering or evaluating, should be designed for no other than to streamline the hiring process. And secondly, they should be seamlessly integratable with any of your ATS, RTS, or HRIS systems. The reason being, when you combine the two, you will now have unlocked power to new levels of automation and efficiency that you would never have experienced before. Things such as the power to filter through hundreds and thousands of resumes, the ability to use customizable assessments driven by predictive analytics that would shortlist by knowledge, skill, personality, and behavior. You should also be able to build and store each candidate profile, and you should be able to leverage the power of video interviewing software, which in itself is highly effective when it comes to time saving. Assessments, and why we focus on assessments so much, is that they enable volume hiring by automatically eliminating unqualified candidates at the beginning of the recruitment process. Using the right assessment technology allows you to rank your top talent according to verified skills and competencies before they even enter your talent database. You can couple skills tests with one-way video interviewing and, if required, personality or behavioral assessments to gain an even more comprehensive view of your candidates. Just to add some emphasis that the power of recorded one-way video interviews reduce the time needed for first round interviews. Extreme amount of time is often lost to first round interviews. And today that's almost impossible considering most of what we do is remote hiring, and with the volume of candidates, many are trying to find ways around this. So what candidates can do is record responses to predetermined questions, and hiring teams can view, score, and share results anytime and from anywhere. Okay, well, that brings us now to tip number 2. Design a well-structured hiring framework. This is a simple yet effective step to designing your volume hiring strategy. To get the most out of skills assessments and one-way video interviews, detail a structured high-volume hiring strategy that illustrates every step of your ideal recruiting process, including but not limited to the following 4 steps. Step 1. Selecting members of the hiring teams. If you need a fast-paced, robust process, you need a skilled team to help you execute. Step 2. Define and communicate roles and responsibilities for each member of the hiring team. We all know that clear expectations are key to a stronger team effort. Step number 3. Establishing ideal timeframes for each step in the hiring process. I enjoyed an amazing quote by Lord Kelvin a while back that reads, "If you cannot measure it, you cannot improve it." So to start improving, we need to measure and put measurables in place. And lastly, step number 4 is setting and communicating hiring goals. Now, over and above the time frames, we need to set goals like time to hire, the number of hires, etc. In line with the last step, make the goal clear so that the team know what to work towards. For all our listeners listening in today, we're now on tip number 3 of the 5 tips to help you get started with your volume hiring strategy. Before I dig into this tip a little bit more, I want to just build some credibility and appreciation for what eSkill has achieved globally alongside its partners such as Competently Talent Solutions. Together we have served over 5,000 customers. Total number of tests created on our platform exceeds 60,000, and we have evaluated over 5 million candidates. Now, with that in mind, when I say that we see this all too often, I truly mean it. And that is that companies don't have very detailed ideal candidate profiles or job descriptions. What's the problem though? Well, the reality is that in order to create an assessment that is valid, reliable, and going to be a predictive indicator of a candidate's job success, you need to create an assessment in line with a thorough ideal candidate profile. But as I've said time and time again, we see clients share general job descriptions or candidate profiles off of Google, which are great and true, but not necessarily for your client and for their business and their culture and any other unique elements that would ultimately play a role in how effective and accurate your candidate selection process will be. So the tip is to develop a thorough candidate profile for each position. Include critical skills and knowledge needed. Use the candidate's profile as a roadmap to write targeted job descriptions and align those with job-specific skills assessments. Tip number 4, consider internal talent. Now, I understand that usually as a recruiter or as a recruitment agency, this is not the form of recruitment that usually involves us because organizations do this sort of recruitment themselves internally. However, in favor of what Placement Partner is doing with the Recruitment Academy is for us all to upskill and collaborate, right? To shift into a high gear and to do things differently, to speed up our adoption phase or our adoption process of new technology, new processes, new ways of doing things. And in favor of my lesson, we're talking about an integrated approach with new tech-enabled tools. So now what you can do is offer your client something you would otherwise not have been able to. You can leverage skills assessments. You can use your skills test to identify employees capable of stepping into hard to fill roles. This is linked to employee retention and productivity. You can also leverage the results of your assessments to promote internal talent and to backfill the vacated positions. The strategic approach to talent management is a win-win because internal mobility improves employee morale and simplifies volume hiring efforts. Thus, your clients will appreciate you now more than ever, and you're able to give them something you otherwise were not able to do. The fifth and final tip: analyze data to optimize efficiencies. With tech-enabled tools, as recruiting professionals and HR professionals, you can gather data and extract useful insights from the hiring pipeline. Use the data to pinpoint the best performing sourcing strategies. Use this data to gather whether your time to hire and cost to hire are sustainable. Use this data to identify bottlenecks in the hiring funnel. And use the insights to adjust your hiring process and optimize efficiencies. To all our beautiful ears listening today and all our beautiful eyes watching, I have now covered the 5 tips to help you get started with a volume hiring recruitment strategy. To solidify these tips, let's take a look at the fast track hiring process at a glance. Here are the quick look at these steps that are involved in executing a systematic, streamlined recruitment process. So step 1 is to identify the required skills. For each position, it is critical to determine the most valuable and critical performance factors, like skills or experience. Step 2, you need to configure the assessment. So you need to understand what sort of construct you need. At eSkill, we offer a vast library of skills and job-based assessments. We even have an eSkill author which allows you to create your own custom assessments. Step 3, administer skills tests. Use your applicant tracking system. A powerful applicant tracking system like Placement Partner offers a high level of automation. You use this to automatically send these skills tests to your applicants. Use the results, step 4, to create a short list of candidates. Move top candidates onto the next step in the hiring process. Once again, use the power of your applicant tracking system here. Step 5, assign a hiring team. Gather a team to evaluate your candidates. Step 6, develop and deploy the initial one-way video interview. Set up the interview, decide on a scoring criteria, assign members of the hiring team to score the responses, and send the invitation to complete the video interview to candidates. Step 7 and the final one, score, share, and review. Once the initial interviews are scored, share the results with the entire team and review the candidates by their assessment scores and their interviewing scores to create a list of those candidates who you want to move on to the next round of interviews, whether it be in person, one way, or via a live video feed. All right, everybody. So just before we close off today's lesson, I want to just thank everybody who's still listening so far. I really hope you've enjoyed these lessons and the insights I have shared. I hope in most cases, all of you have identified areas in your own recruitment process that you can benefit from if these points and these strategies were to be implemented. So I told you in the beginning I was going to close off with a overview of benefits that you should see and that you will see within your organization and your client organizations if you were to implement an assessment tool to help you hire at scale and improve the bottom line. The benefits I'll be listing now for you are specific benefits to case studies of our very own clients who have used our eSkill tools to hire at scale and to improve their bottom line. Our customer case studies have shown 4 benefits. Firstly, by using eSkills assessments, clients have reduced the cost of evaluation by 70%. On average, this represented $600 or 10,000 Rand per candidate. Increasing revenue was the second benefit. When businesses systematically select top candidates, they realize up to 33% revenue increase per employee. Third benefit, reducing the time to hire. eSkill suite of HR tech solutions have helped our clients reduce time to hire by 60%. And the fourth benefit has been a streamline in the training process. By using eSkills assessments to identify skill proficiency levels, enables employers to develop training programs that meet the exact needs of new hires, rather than using the one size fits all training protocols that often are just a waste of time and resources. And that concludes lesson number one, everybody. Thank you so much. Please share with all your recruitment partners, colleagues, and friends. We'd also love to hear from you. So give us some feedback, post a review. I'm Sheldon Butter from Competently Talent Solutions. If you need a flexible, scalable, affordable assessment solution, please reach out to us directly. We will see you guys at the next lesson. We will be taking a look at what we can learn from the recruitment strategies of the top staffing firms in 2020. So until then, everybody be safe. We love you lots. Take care and see you there.